Imagine reaching into your pocket for some loose change, and pulling out a coin that could make you a millionaire overnight. Sounds unbelievable, right? But believe it or not, some rare US coins have sold for millions of dollars at auctions.
Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a simple Jefferson nickel. It's shiny, small, seemingly ordinary. But what if I told you that this little piece of metal, minted in the United States in 1962, could be worth nearly $1 million today? Yes, I said $995,000. And the secret lies in one tiny, almost invisible detail: the absence of a mint mark. That's right. The 1962 no mint mark Jefferson nickel error is one of the most sought-after coins in American history. You might be sitting at home, looking through your old coin collection, wondering, could I be holding a fortune without even knowing it? Well, buckle up, because what I'm about to show you could change the way you look at your coins forever. Now, I know what you're thinking. A nickel? Seriously? And I get it, it sounds ridiculous. A nickel worth nearly $1 million? That's like finding a Ferrari in your garage behind a dusty tarp, and you didn't even know it was there. But that's exactly the kind of excitement collectors live for, and the stakes couldn't be higher for those who have these rare coins. Let's take a step back. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage since 1938, but 1962 was a particularly unusual year. The U.S. Mint produced nickels in Philadelphia, which traditionally did not carry a mint mark, but most 1962 nickels were common and circulated widely. Yet, a handful of these nickels escaped the standard minting process in a way that created an incredibly rare error, the no mint mark version. This isn't just a small misprint or a trivial scratch, it's a genuine minting anomaly that makes these coins almost mythical in the numismatic world. Collectors have chased these nickels for decades, and every time one surfaces, it's like watching history leap out of your pocket. And here's the kicker: in today's market, this coin isn't just rare, it's highly desirable. Dealers, investors, and collectors compete fiercely for it, driving its price toward that staggering $995,000 mark. That's nearly $1 million for a coin you might have overlooked in a dusty old box. Pause for a second. Imagine missing out on that because you didn't know what to look for. Terrifying, right? But don't panic. If you're watching this video, you're already ahead of the game. And trust me, the window to capitalize on this kind of treasure won't stay open forever. Here's a humorous thought to reset your attention. Imagine trying to pay for your morning coffee with a nickel and the cashier saying, sir, this is worth a small fortune." Suddenly, your usual latte becomes $1 million deal. That's the kind of mind-blowing scenario we're talking about. So, what does this mean for you? If you've ever held on to old coins or inherited a collection from family, it's time to look a little closer. This isn't just about nostalgia, it's about potential life-changing value. The 1962 no mint mark Jefferson nickel is more than a coin, it's a golden key to possibilities you may have only dreamed of: financial freedom, the ability to invest in passions, or even leave a legacy for your loved ones. And here's where it gets exciting: the market is hot, and demand is intense. Serious buyers are actively seeking these coins, and every passing day could see the value climb even higher. Waiting too long could mean missing out. In other words, the opportunity to cash in on this rare treasure is now. Think about it: one small decision to examine your collection could transform your financial landscape. And don't worry if you've never sold a coin before. The world of rare coins is full of knowledgeable dealers ready to authenticate, appraise, and help you secure top dollar. The key is awareness and action. By the time you finish watching this video, I want you to do two things. First, look through your old coins with a fresh perspective, and second, recognize the incredible value hidden in history. A coin minted in 1962, overlooked for decades, could very well be your gateway to nearly $1 million. This is not just numismatics, it's a thrilling reminder that history, patience, and a little luck can turn the smallest object into a life-altering asset. So, the next time you hold a nickel, remember, in that unassuming metal disc could lie a fortune waiting to be discovered. Don't let it slip through your fingers. The 1962 no mint mark Jefferson nickel is rare, it's powerful, and it's ready for someone like you to claim its value. Imagine holding a tiny piece of history in the palm of your hand, something most people dismiss as mere change, and realizing it could be worth almost $1,000,000. Yes, you've heard that right, $928,000. I'm talking about the elusive 1964 mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and valuable that it has collectors and investors scrambling across the country. Now, pause for a moment. How often do you stumble upon something in your own drawer, in your own collection, that could transform your financial future overnight? Feels exciting, doesn't it? Or maybe a little nerve-wracking. After all, how many people accidentally toss away a fortune without even knowing it exists? Now, before you check your change jar and panic, let's take a journey. This isn't just a coin, it's a ticket into a world of wealth, status, and financial freedom that most people only dream about. And if you think pennies are small and insignificant, let me ask you this. When was the last time a 1-cent coin made someone $928,000? Yeah, exactly. Here's the secret that makes the 1964 Lincoln penny so extraordinary. Unlike regular pennies minted that year, this coin carries a tiny, yet monumental error, a subtle mint mark that shouldn't be there in the quantity it exists. Errors like this are what collectors and investors salivate over. They're like a hidden signature from the past, a flaw that somehow becomes a flawless opportunity. And if you think that's too good to be true, remember, rarity is the currency of wealth. The fewer the coins, the higher the value. Picture this. You're at a family gathering, someone hands you a handful of pennies from an old jar, you spot one that looks a little different. Your heart races. Could it be the one? Suddenly, you're not just holding a coin, you're holding decades of history, a story told in copper, and the potential to change your lifestyle forever. It's thrilling, and a little terrifying. Fear of missing out is real here. Every day, more collectors discover treasures, and each moment that passes could be someone else's fortune. Now, let's lighten the mood for a second, because yes, even in the world of $1,000,000 coins, humor has its place. Imagine trying to explain to your grandkids that this penny? It's worth more than your college tuition. They'll probably look at you like you've lost your mind. But hey, they'll never forget that day you became a legend in your own home. That's the beauty of rare coins. They're conversation starters, status symbols, and financial powerhouses all rolled into one. Here's the part most people miss. This coin isn't just a collector's item, it's liquid wealth. The current market value stands at an astonishing $928,000. Yes, close to $1,000,000 for a coin most people toss without a second thought. And here's the urgent part. These coins don't stay hidden forever. Every year, collectors, investors, and savvy treasure hunters scoop them up, and the window to capitalize on your potential fortune is shrinking. So, if you have old coins tucked away, maybe in a drawer, a jar, or an attic, don't wait. This isn't just about selling metal. This is about claiming the financial recognition you deserve. Think of it as a hidden bridge to a lifestyle most only dream about: luxury, freedom, and security, all wrapped up in a single, seemingly insignificant penny. Before we wrap up, let me ask you, what if this coin, your coin, is the one that changes everything? Will you take the chance, or will you let someone else walk away with your fortune? The clock is ticking, the market is hot, and demand is higher than ever. That small, humble 1964 Lincoln penny is calling. All you have to do is answer. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that most people dismiss as just a penny. A coin so unassuming, so ordinary at first glance, yet hidden within it is a secret that could turn a small piece of copper into nearly $1,000,000 treasure. Today, we're uncovering the astonishing story of the 1972 mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and so coveted, collectors across the United States would give anything to add it to their collection. And here's the kicker. One of these coins recently hit a staggering $999,000 on the market. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $1,000,000 for a penny. Now, before you start patting your pocket change, let me ask you, have you ever wondered if the coins in your jar, in your desk drawer, or even tucked away in a forgotten attic box could be worth far more than you ever imagined? If so, stay with me. Because what you're about to learn could change the way you look at your spare change forever. And trust me, the clock is ticking, and the opportunity won't wait. The story begins in 1972, during a time of incredible change in the United States. Amidst the chaos of economic shifts, a quiet mistake was made in the mints of Philadelphia. Normally, pennies carry a small mark indicating where they were minted. But this particular batch? They were minted without a mint mark. A seemingly small oversight, invisible to the untrained eye, yet this tiny detail would become the most sought-after treasure for coin collectors. You might be thinking, it's just a penny. How can a tiny circle of copper suddenly become worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Well, let me let you in on a secret. The value isn't just in the copper. It's in rarity. It's in history. It's in the thrill of holding something almost no one else has. And when collectors realize they have a shot at owning a coin that could make them nearly $1 million richer, the race begins. And trust me, they don't wait. Here's a funny thought. Imagine trying to buy a house with a jar of these pennies. Most people laugh. But someone who knows the market, they're sitting on a small fortune, and the best part, they probably didn't even realize it when they found it between the couch cushions. That's the beauty of rare coins. They hide in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to recognize them, and that's where the urgency comes in. Every day, more people are discovering these coins. Every auction, every private sale drives the price higher. The market is hungry, and the collectors are relentless. If you have one of these pennies, or even suspect you might, the question isn't whether it's valuable, it's when you'll capitalize on it. Miss this moment, and someone else could be living the dream that could have been yours. Now picture this. You finally pull out that dusty jar, or open a forgotten envelope, and there it is, a 1972 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, gleaming under the light. Your heart races. Your mind spins. The reality sinks in. This little coin could make nearly $1 million. Imagine the freedom, the choices, the lifestyle it could open up. No more what ifs. No more wishing for a lucky break. One coin, one rare mistake, and your life could change forever. And here's the secret to truly benefiting from this knowledge. Understanding the coin's authenticity, the market trends, and the collector's hunger can turn your small discovery into a monumental payday. Experts are actively searching for coins like this. The demand is explosive, and for good reason. This isn't just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a story frozen in copper, and a ticket to financial transformation for those bold enough to recognize it.so. The question isn't whether the 1972 no-mint mark penny is valuable. It's whether you're ready to act. Will you let this opportunity pass, letting someone else reap the rewards of your discovery? Or will you step into the world of rare coin collecting, where the stakes are high, the excitement is real, and the rewards, well, they're almost unimaginable? Take a moment and think about it. One small coin, overlooked for decades, could redefine your lifestyle. The market is waiting, collectors are watching, and the clock is ticking. Don't let history pass you by, because this penny, this tiny piece of copper, could very well be your gateway to a life most only dream about. Imagine holding a tiny piece of history in the palm of your hand, a coin so rare, so astonishingly unique, that it could turn decades of saving and collecting into nearly $1 million overnight. Yes, I'm talking about the 1982 D-Mint Mark 1 cent Lincoln penny error, a coin that's sending shockwaves through the rare coin market. If you've ever stumbled across a dusty old penny in your drawer, it might just be the key to unlocking a life-changing fortune. But here's the kicker. Most people don't even know this coin exists, and that ignorance could cost them dearly. You see, this isn't just a coin. It's a golden ticket disguised in copper. And today, I'm going to show you why collectors and wealthy investors are absolutely desperate to get their hands on one, and why you could be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Back in 1982, the United States Mint was quietly producing billions of pennies. Among them, a few extraordinary errors slipped through, mistakes so rare that they became legendary in the numismatic world. The 1982 D Lincoln penny with the 1 cent mint mark error is one of these treasures. Imagine the excitement, the sheer thrill, when collectors first discovered a penny where the design was subtly but unmistakably different. This error is more than a collector's curiosity. It's a symbol of opportunity, a rare intersection of history and wealth. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The current market value of this rare penny has skyrocketed to an astonishing $995,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin smaller than your thumb. You might be thinking, that's impossible! But let me ask you this. How many people will ever find a coin like this in their lifetime? And how many more are sitting on similar treasures in their jars, their drawers, or under couch cushions, completely unaware of the fortune they possess? This is the kind of rare opportunity that separates ordinary collectors from the savvy, wealthy investors who recognize value when they see it. And here's a humorous thought to reset your mind. Wouldn't it be ironic if the coin that could make you a millionaire is lying next to a stale sandwich in your kitchen drawer? Life has a funny way of hiding treasures in plain sight. But for those who act, the rewards are monumental. So, why should you care right now? Because the market for rare coin errors is hotter than ever, and opportunities like this don't wait. Billionaires, seasoned collectors, and wealthy investors are circling this 1982 Lincoln penny like sharks sensing blood. Each passing day without checking your collection, or your forgotten drawers, is a missed chance to claim an almost unbelievable payday. This isn't just speculation, it's history proving itself as wealth. And make no mistake, people are paying top dollar for coins exactly like this, and they are willing to fight for it. If you're holding onto old pennies, it's time to pay attention. This is your chance to take what might be a simple, overlooked coin and transform it into life-changing wealth. Don't let hesitation or doubt hold you back. The excitement, the fear of missing out, and the undeniable demand in the market all point to one truth: the time to act is now. Imagine telling your friends that a coin you found in your childhood collection turned into nearly $1 million. The thrill, the pride, the sheer disbelief, it's the kind of story that changes lives. And remember, while some may ignore this moment, those who see the opportunity and act will be the ones writing the headlines. The 1982 Lincoln penny error is more than metal. It's a gateway to a lifestyle many only dream about. Wealth, recognition, and the exhilaration of owning something extraordinary are within your reach, if you recognize it and seize it. Your treasure could be hiding in plain sight, waiting for the moment you decide to unlock its true potential. So, check your collections, look closely at your pennies, and remember, the extraordinary doesn't announce itself. It whispers, it waits, and when discovered, it rewards the bold. Will this be your $1 million discovery? The answer is in your hands. Picture this. You're cleaning out a drawer in your kitchen, the kind that collects old batteries, rubber bands, and a handful of forgotten pennies. You pick one up without thinking. It's small, copper-colored, and looks just like every other coin you've seen your whole life. But what if I told you that one simple penny, the kind most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up, could secretly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Not $10. Not $100. We're talking about a coin that collectors have valued close to $921,000. Yes, a single penny. Today we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1982 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Cent, a coin that has shocked collectors and turned ordinary pocket change into life-changing money. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny before spending it? Be honest. Most of us treat pennies like background noise. They sit in jars, glove compartments, couch cushions, and parking lots. But the truth is, some of those pennies are quietly hiding incredible value. And among them, the 1982 Lincoln penny without a mint mark has become one of the most talked about coins in the world of collectors. In fact, its story begins in one of the most important years in modern coin history. Back in 1982, the United States Mint made a major change that would alter pennies forever. Rising copper prices were becoming a serious problem, and producing traditional copper pennies was getting too expensive. So that year, the mint decided to switch the composition of the penny from mostly copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. On paper it seemed simple. In reality, it created confusion inside the minting process, and confusion in coin production often leads to something collectors love: errors. During that chaotic transition year, multiple versions of the Lincoln Memorial cent were produced. Different mint locations, different metal compositions, different date styles. For the average American at the time, none of this mattered. But decades later, collectors began noticing that some of these coins did not match the official specifications. One particular variation, the 1982 penny with no mint mark combined with an unusual composition and striking characteristics, became the center of intense attention among professional numismatists. And here's where things start to get exciting. Somewhere along the way, a rare production anomaly slipped through the system. A coin that shouldn't technically exist according to official mint records began appearing in the hands of collectors. That discovery sparked one of the most intriguing treasure hunts in modern coin collecting. Experts began analyzing weight, metal composition, and strike quality, trying to confirm whether these pennies were genuine transitional errors or something even more extraordinary. Now pause for a second and think about this. Millions of pennies were minted in 1982. Millions. Which means there is a real possibility that some of these rare variations are still sitting in jars, piggy banks, or inherited coin boxes across the United States. Imagine finding one in your own home tonight. Imagine holding a coin that could potentially change your financial story. But let's talk about the detail that makes collectors lean forward in their chairs: the missing mint mark. Normally, pennies show a small letter indicating where they were produced. Coins from Philadelphia traditionally carried no mint mark for many years, while others might show marks from different facilities. However, when experts began examining certain 1982 pennies more closely, they noticed inconsistencies in weight and metal structure that didn't align with the official production standards for that mint. This is where the mystery deepens. Transitional coins, coins produced during a switch in materials or design, are some of the most desirable pieces in numismatic history. They represent moments when manufacturing processes overlapped or mistakes occurred under tight deadlines. And collectors absolutely love those moments because they create rarity. Now here's a quick reality check that might surprise you. A penny weighs about 3 grams. That's lighter than a paperclip. Yet some of these rare pieces have commanded values reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars in private sales and auctions. Imagine explaining that to someone in 1982. One day, this penny might buy a luxury home. They probably would have laughed and spent it on bubble gum. But today the story is very different. Rare coin markets have exploded in popularity, especially among collectors and investors between the ages of 30 and 65 who understand something powerful. Tangible historical assets often grow in value while ordinary cash quietly loses purchasing power. The excitement surrounding rare pennies is not just about money, it's about discovery. Every time someone searches through an old coin jar, there's a small thrill of possibility. And that feeling is exactly what keeps collectors hunting. Let me ask you another quick question. Do you have a jar of pennies somewhere in your house right now? Maybe in a closet, maybe in a storage box, maybe inherited from a parent or grandparent. If you do, you might be closer to a rare find than you think. Because coins from the early 1980s are still widely circulating in old collections. And here's something fascinating about the coin market. When collectors confirm that a rare error exists, demand rises dramatically. Suddenly thousands of people begin searching for the same variation. Prices climb, auctions become competitive, and a coin that once looked ordinary becomes a headline-making collectible. That's exactly what happened with the 1982 no mint mark Lincoln penny variation that captured national attention among collectors. As authentication and grading services began examining these coins more closely, the market responded with intense interest. Rare examples in pristine condition have been valued at extraordinary levels, with some estimates placing top specimens near the $900,000 range. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for a penny, and here's the part most people don't realize. The majority of valuable coins are not discovered by professional dealers. They're found by everyday people. Retirees sorting old coin albums. Families cleaning out inherited collections. Someone rolling coins at their kitchen table on a Sunday afternoon, which means the next discovery could come from anywhere. Now imagine the moment. You're sitting at the table, examining pennies one by one. Most are ordinary. Then suddenly something looks slightly different. The date catches your eye. The weight feels unusual. Your curiosity kicks in. You start researching, comparing, verifying. And slowly you realize, this coin might be something special. That moment of realization is what every collector dreams about. And the truth is, opportunities like this still exist because millions of Americans underestimate the value hiding in their spare change. They assume pennies are worthless. They overlook them. They spend them without looking. But the collectors who pay attention, the ones who study mint years, composition changes, and era varieties, are the ones who sometimes uncover life-changing finds. So here's the real takeaway from this story. Rare coins aren't just relics of the past. They are opportunities waiting to be recognized. And sometimes the difference between an ordinary penny and a six-figure collectible is simply knowledge. Knowledge of which years matter. Knowledge of mint marks. Knowledge of transitional errors that slipped through the cracks of history. The 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial Cent represents exactly that kind of opportunity, a tiny piece of American history that reminds us something powerful. Extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places. So tonight, before you dismiss that jar of pennies on your shelf, take another look. Examine the dates. Check the details. Because somewhere out there, another rare coin is waiting to be discovered, and who knows? Imagine holding a coin in your hand that the rest of the world dismisses as just a nickel. Now, imagine that same coin is worth nearly $1 million today. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But for collectors and savvy investors, this is reality. Welcome to the world of the 1992 mint mark Jefferson nickel error, a coin that has shocked collectors and turned casual holders into instant millionaires. You might be thinking, a nickel? Really? And that's exactly why most people miss this rare opportunity. It's hiding in plain sight, possibly in your own collection, your grandma's old coin jar, or even loose in your wallet. But here's the truth, the market is hungry. Dealers and private buyers are scrambling for these coins, and the clock is ticking. Now, let's break down why this coin is so rare, so valuable, and why it could change your financial story forever. The 1992 Jefferson nickel is not just any coin, it's a mistake that the US Mint never intended to exist. Errors in coin production are extremely rare, and this particular nickel has a misalignment so unique that collectors call it a one-of-a-kind treasure. Unlike other nickels that line pockets and piggy banks, this coin carries a story, a glitch in history that makes it highly sought. After to put it into perspective, the current market value of a pristine 1992 era nickel has soared to $989,000. Yes, that's nearly $1 million for a coin you could hold between your thumb and forefinger. The excitement comes from knowing that owning this coin is not just a purchase, it's a piece of American history, a tangible asset that can change your life. And here's a fun thought. Imagine telling someone you own a coin worth more than a house in some cities. It's almost like being a secret millionaire, quietly holding something the world undervalues, until now. But here's the catch, these coins aren't just sitting around waiting. Auctions, private collectors, and wealthy investors are constantly hunting for them. The fear of missing out? Very real. If you have one, even if it's tucked away in a dusty drawer, it's time to act.so. What does this mean for you? It's more than just money, it's about opportunity, legacy, and financial empowerment. Selling a rare coin like the 1992 mint mark Jefferson nickel can catapult you into a lifestyle of freedom and choice, where wealth becomes a tool, not a worry. Every second you wait, another buyer might snatch this treasure from the market. The urgency is real, the demand is massive, and the reward? Life-changing. Think about it. A coin you might have overlooked could be your ticket to a fortune, a story you tell proudly, and a legacy you leave behind. And here's the exciting part, you don't need to be a numismatic expert to seize this opportunity. With the right guidance, your old coins could unlock a world of financial possibilities you never imagined. The market is ready, eager, and willing to pay top dollar for something truly rare. The only question is, will you be the one to claim it? So, if you've ever thought, I should check my collection, now is the moment. Don't let $1 million opportunity slip through your fingers. The 1992 P Mint Mark Jefferson nickel error is more than a coin, it's proof that sometimes, the most extraordinary fortunes are hidden in the most ordinary places. Remember, history favors the bold, and fortune favors the prepared. It's time to see if you hold the coin that could change everything. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, something you might have tossed in a jar or forgotten at the bottom of your drawer, only to discover it could be worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, $998,000. Today, we're diving into one of the most sought-after coin errors in American history, the 2006 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Now, before your eyes glaze over thinking, it's just a penny, let me stop you right there. This isn't just any penny. This is the golden ticket for collectors, investors, and anyone who's ever dreamed of turning something ordinary into a life-changing treasure. And if you're watching this, chances are you could be sitting on your own hidden fortune. Here's a question for you. When was the last time something you owned quietly whispered, "I could make you rich"? If your answer is never, then pay close attention. Because that is exactly the opportunity staring you in the face with the 2006 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. The U.S. Mint accidentally released this penny without the tiny letter that usually tells you where it was made. Normally, pennies are just pennies. But errors like this? They create an instant frenzy in the collector world. Suddenly, a coin worth 1 cent becomes a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in today's market, nearly $1 million. Now, here's where it gets thrilling. You might be thinking, how common could this coin really be? That's the catch. It's incredibly rare. Only a handful exist in circulation, and every single one is in the crosshairs of collectors who will pay big money. This is the kind of rarity that doesn't come knocking twice. Imagine this. Someone finds this coin at a yard sale or tucked in a jar of old coins, and within hours, they're holding a check that could rival their life savings. The fear of missing out on an opportunity like this is real, and it's what drives the market sky high. But let's reset for a second. Don't worry, you don't need to start flipping your entire coin collection upside down in a panic. Although, if you do, I won't judge. Here's the important part: knowledge is your superpower. Understanding what to look for, how to authenticate a 2006 no-mint Mark penny, and knowing the current market trends can literally put nearly $1 million in your hands. The market value of $998,000 isn't a rumor, it's real, verified by collectors and auctions that battle over these rare coins like they're the crown jewels. And let me tell you, the demand is ferocious. The moment one surfaces in pristine condition, bids skyrocket within minutes. We're talking about collectors who have spent decades hunting for a single coin to complete their collection, and they will not let a rare find slip through their fingers. The excitement, the adrenaline, and the urgency are palpable. And here's the secret most people don't realize. This coin isn't just valuable because it's rare, it's a symbol of an era, a story minted into metal, waiting for someone like you to claim it. So, what does this mean for you? It means you could have a life-altering moment waiting right in your own home. That drawer full of old coins isn't just clutter, it could be a vault of hidden wealth. And here's the truth, opportunities like this don't linger. Every day, more collectors are entering the market, more bids are pushing prices higher, and more pennies that could have changed someone's life are quietly slipping by. But here's the exciting part: you have the power to act. You can authenticate, appraise, and sell these rare pennies to the right buyers who understand their value. You can turn forgotten coins into $998,000, or even more, as demand continues to grow. The story doesn't end when you find the coin, it begins. Every coin has a tale, and the 2006 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a story of rarity, luck, and incredible opportunity. And just imagine the lifestyle this could unlock: financial freedom, the ability to invest in your passions, travel, luxury, and security, all from something that most people overlook every day. So here's the final thought: don't let this pass you by. Look through your collection. Ask the right questions. Take action now. Because the next 2006 no-mint Mark penny that could be worth nearly $1 million? It could be yours. Remember, rarity isn't just about scarcity, it's about timing, knowledge, and courage. And the clock is ticking. Imagine this: you reach into a jar of loose change, pull out a single penny, and discover it could be worth nearly $1 million. Not a rare gold coin from centuries ago. Not a museum artifact. Just a modern penny from your everyday pocket change. Today we're talking about a coin that has collectors across America searching through every piggy bank, dresser drawer, and coffee can full of change. The mysterious 2012 Lincoln Shield penny with no mint mark, a coin that in the right condition and with the right era has been valued as high as $915,000 in the collector's market. Before you shrug and say, "It's just a penny," let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked closely at the coins in your pocket? Most people never do. And that simple habit, ignoring pennies, has allowed some of the most valuable era coins in American history to slip quietly through circulation. While millions of people pass them along without a second thought, a small group of collectors are actively hunting them down. Why? Because in the world of coin collecting, one tiny mistake at the mint can transform 1 cent into life-changing money. Let's rewind for a moment. In 2012, the United States Mint continued producing the modern Lincoln penny design known as the Lincoln Shield reverse design. The obverse still features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been a symbol of American history since 1909. Billions of these pennies were struck that year at major facilities including the United States Mint locations in Philadelphia and Denver. Normally, coins from these facilities include a mint mark that identifies where they were produced. But occasionally, something unusual happens during the minting process, something that collectors call a mint error. And this is where the story becomes exciting. Some extremely rare 2012 pennies surfaced with a mysterious detail. The expected mint mark was completely missing. At first glance, that might not sound dramatic. But in coin collecting, small details create enormous value. A missing mint mark can indicate that a coin was struck with a modified or defective die, or produced during a rare transitional moment in the minting process. These kinds of errors are the holy grail for collectors because they are both accidental and incredibly limited. Think of it like a printing mistake on a dollar bill. If millions of perfect bills exist but only a handful contain a rare misprint, which one becomes valuable? Exactly. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Some of these 2012 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark have also been reported with additional striking anomalies, subtle doubling in the lettering, die alignment issues, or unusually sharp details caused by early die strikes. When these features appear together on a single coin, the rarity multiplies dramatically. To a trained collector or auction house, this combination signals something extraordinary. And extraordinary coins attract extraordinary money. Imagine sitting at an auction where collectors compete for the rarest pieces of American coinage. One bidder raises their paddle. Another jumps in. The price climbs, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. It sounds unbelievable for a penny, but that's exactly how the rare coin market works. When the right buyers encounter the right coin, price limits disappear. That's how certain examples connected to the 2012 no mint mark penny error have been estimated at values approaching $915,000 in elite collector markets. Now let me pause for a second and ask you a question. What if one of those coins is sitting in your home right now? Maybe it's in a jar in your kitchen. Maybe it's in a box of old coins your parents saved. Maybe it's mixed into the loose change in your car's cup holder. The truth is, valuable coins often remain hidden for years simply because people assume all pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. That assumption is exactly what creates opportunity. Coin collectors understand something the average person doesn't. Circulation is like a treasure hunt. Every day, rare coins continue moving through banks, grocery stores, and vending machines. And while most people rush through their day without noticing them, someone patient enough to look closely can discover incredible value. But there's urgency here too. As awareness grows, more collectors are searching for these coins. Dealers examine thousands of pennies daily. Professional grading services analyze submissions from across the country. The longer rare coins remain undiscovered, the more competition grows to find them first. In other words, the earlier you start checking your coins, the greater your chances of finding something truly remarkable. Let's talk about how to recognize the coin that has collectors buzzing. First, the date, 2012. Second, look closely under the date where a mint mark normally appears. If the penny shows no mint mark, that's your first signal. Next, examine the details around Lincoln's portrait and the lettering. Collectors search for unusual clarity, doubling in the text, or subtle dye variations. Even the reverse shield design can reveal clues in the lines and lettering. And yes, I know what some people are thinking right now. A $915,000 penny? That sounds impossible. But remember this, rare coins have surprised the world many times before. The legendary 1943 bronze Lincoln cent sold for over $1 million because of a simple minting mistake. Another famous rarity, the 1955 double-die Lincoln cent, became one of the most sought-after pennies ever discovered because the lettering appears dramatically doubled. At the time those coins entered circulation, people spent them like ordinary change. Only later did collectors realize their true value. History repeats itself in the coin world, and every time a new rare error emerges, it creates a wave of excitement through the collector community. Dealers begin searching harder. Auction houses monitor discoveries. And everyday Americans suddenly start checking their change more carefully than ever before. Let's be honest for a second. Most financial opportunities require huge investments. Stocks require capital. Real estate requires loans and risk. But coin collecting? Sometimes the opportunity literally costs 1 cent 1 penny, and occasionally that penny carries a hidden story worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now imagine the moment of discovery. You're sitting at your table with a magnifying glass, examining a handful of coins. One of them looks slightly different. You check again. The mint mark is missing. The details look unusual. Your heart starts beating a little faster. Could this really be the coin collectors are hunting? That moment, that spark of possibility, is what drives the entire rare coin market. Because every collector knows the same truth. The next great discovery might still be out there. So if you have jars of pennies at home, inherited coin collections, or even a handful of change from the grocery store, this is the perfect time to take a closer look. The 2012 no mint mark Lincoln penny error has already captured the attention of serious collectors, and coins connected to this rare variation are commanding extraordinary interest. And remember, coins don't announce their value. They hide it, quietly waiting for the one person curious enough to look closely. So tonight, before you ignore that pile of change on your dresser, take a second look. Because the difference between 1 cent and $915,000 might be nothing more than a tiny missing mark. And if you enjoyed uncovering the secrets behind rare American coins like the 2012 Lincoln penny error, make sure you stay tuned. The world of hidden coin treasures is far bigger than most people realize, and the next discovery could be sitting in someone's pocket right now. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. Not just any coin, a coin that was accidentally minted differently, a coin that whispers a story of history, rarity, and unimaginable value. Today, we're diving into one of the most sought-after treasures in modern American coinage, the 2021 D-Mint Mark Jefferson nickel error. Yes, you heard that right. A coin minted less than 3 years ago now carries a current market value of $982,000. That's nearly $1 million tucked into your pocket, or perhaps lying forgotten in a drawer. If you're holding coins, you need to hear this story. Your next step could literally change your financial destiny. The Jefferson nickel has been a familiar companion in American wallets since 1938. Its design is iconic: Thomas Jefferson's profile on the front, Monticello on the back. But in 2021, something extraordinary happened. During the minting process at the Denver Mint, a rare error occurred. A nickel was struck with a unique misalignment of the D-Mint mark, a subtle mistake that, to the untrained eye, might seem insignificant. But to collectors and investors, this was a lightning bolt of opportunity. Here's where it gets exciting. Mint errors like these are rare by nature, but this one is exceptionally rare. Only a handful exist in private hands. Think about that. Millions of nickels were minted in 2021, yet only a few carry this rare signature. That means if you find one, even tucked away in a collection or forgotten coin jar, you could potentially hold a 9-figure treasure. And before you roll your eyes thinking, "It's just a nickel," let me ask you, would you ignore a winning lottery ticket in your pocket? Exactly. Now, let's talk urgency. This isn't a story about finding pennies on the street. This is about seizing life-changing value before someone else does. Every day, dealers and collectors across the country are snapping up rare coins at astonishing prices. The 2021 D Mint Mark Jefferson nickel is more than just a collector's item, it's a symbol of wealth, foresight, and timing. Imagine looking back a year from now, realizing that coin you overlooked could have been worth nearly $1 million. The fear of missing out is real, and it's powerful. But let's pause for a moment. Picture this: your uncle asks if you want his old coin collection, and you shrug it off, thinking, "It's just pocket change." A year later, a 2021 D nickel error sells for $982,000 on the market. Did your heart just skip a beat? That's exactly the thrill collectors live for. The blend of excitement, discovery, and a touch of fear is addictive, and it's exactly why these coins are highly sought after. And for a little humor, imagine trying to pay for your morning coffee with a $982,000 nickel. The barista's face alone would be priceless. But this joke masks a serious point. The value is real, tangible, and very much liquid if you know where to sell. So, what does this mean for you? If you own rare coins, now is the time to examine, authenticate, and evaluate your collection. Professional grading services and high-end auction houses are eager for coins like the 2021 D Jefferson nickel error. These markets are hungry for rarity, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for pieces that carry a story, a mistake-turned masterpiece, a slice of history with nearly $1 million price tag. The lesson is simple: knowledge is power. By understanding the nuances of mint errors, the history behind the coins, and the dynamics of the collector market, you're no longer just a coin owner, you're a strategic investor in history. And if you discover one of these nickels in your possession, hesitation could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even more. So, take action. Examine your collection. Authenticate your rare finds. Connect with trusted dealers and auction platforms. The 2021 D Mint Mark Jefferson nickel isn't just a coin, it's a ticket to financial freedom and prestige. And one thing is certain: coins like these don't wait. Their value only grows as collectors compete to own them. Missing this window is not just disappointment, it's a life-altering opportunity slipping through your fingers. Picture holding that nickel, feeling its weight, knowing it could turn your world upside down. This isn't fantasy, it's reality for those who act fast, who recognize rarity, and who understand the power of timing. Every error, every mint mark anomaly, every forgotten coin could be the one that transforms your financial story. Don't let it slip away. The 2021 D Mint Mark Jefferson nickel is here, now, and worth nearly $1 million. The question is, will you recognize it before someone else does? Imagine holding in your hand a coin worth nearly $1 million. Yes, one single Lincoln penny, minted in 2023, with the rare D Mint Mark error that collectors are desperate to get their hands on. If you've ever brushed aside an old coin, thinking it was just spare change, today's story might just change your life forever. And I promise you, this isn't clickbait. The 2023 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is the rarest modern coin the United States has produced in decades, and its current market value? A staggering $906,000. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, "A penny? Really?" Let me ask you this. Have you ever found something hiding in plain sight that could turn your world upside down? That's exactly what this penny represents. It's not just metal and copper, it's opportunity. And if you act now, it could be your ticket to joining a small, elite group of collectors and sellers who are cashing in on history. Here's how it happened. In 2023, the U.S. Mint accidentally produced a batch of Lincoln pennies with a misaligned D Mint mark, a minting error so rare, so meticulously scrutinized by collectors, that it immediately caught the attention of coin experts worldwide. The irony? A simple stamping mistake turned ordinary cents into life-changing treasures. And those who recognized it early are already seeing offers that can fund dreams most people only whisper about in private. Think about it. While the average person passes by a jar of pennies on their countertop, some savvy collectors have spotted the gem in the chaos. And it's not just about money, it's about legacy. Imagine the thrill of holding a piece of history in your hand, knowing that its rarity makes it worth almost $1 million today. But here's the kicker: the window of opportunity is closing. Every day, more collectors are scouring coin shops, estate sales, and forgotten collections in search of this very penny. If you've ever held an old coin, it might just be hiding your fortune right under your nose. And let's pause for a second. How many of us have laughed at the idea of $1 million penny? Well, I dare you to imagine spending that same penny at a coffee shop, only to realize it could buy a luxury car, a vacation home, or even a retirement fund in one swipe. Mind-boggling, isn't it? That's the power of rare coins. They turn ordinary into extraordinary, ordinary collectors into accidental millionaires. Here's the truth: the 2023 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny is in extremely high demand. Auctions are seeing bidding wars, private collectors are offering six-figure sums, and coin dealers are practically begging sellers to produce even a single piece. This isn't a slow opportunity. It's immediate. The longer you wait, the more likely your penny, or someone else's, is already being snatched up by a millionaire collector. So, if you've ever thought about checking that old coin jar, that dusty drawer, or inherited coins from your family, now is the time. That overlooked penny in your collection could very well be the key to a life of financial freedom, recognition, and a little bit of the thrill that only rare, high-value collectibles can deliver. And the best part? This isn't fantasy. The 2023 D-Mint Mark penny has proven, beyond doubt, that it commands $906,000 on today's market, and demand is only increasing. Don't let hesitation turn opportunity into regret. Start exploring your collection, authenticate your finds, and connect with reputable collectors. One coin could change everything. One penny could redefine your story. And when you hold it in your hand, remember this: you're not just holding a coin, you're holding $1 million possibility.